Sorry, I had that mic off. What's up, everybody? Let me shut this door. See, we already got some callers in the building. Nobody, man. I said drop your age, sex, location. I want to see where everybody checking in from. We're live. This is a midday live, not quite the morning show, man. What's up with everybody today, man? I'm gonna come on here briefly to discuss some recent developments going on in the whole P Diddy saga. Can you guys hear me pretty well? What's up with everybody? I'm gonna give some shout outs before we jump into it. Housekeeping rules. Hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not gonna hurt you or anything like that. And this boy Diddy is wild, man. This boy Diddy is wild. Let me tilt this mic. I don't want it to drop. I'm trying to talk. Let me get closer so you guys can hear me better here. I got this wire hanging because I don't feel like adjusting this mic down. I hate adjusting all this stuff, man. But yeah, we got some doozies, man. We got some doozies. If you guys want to see the caller dropped off, I guess that was premature. We got some doozies here we're gonna cover today, guys, in reference to this whole situation with Diddy, and every day is something different popping up, and this time it includes 50 Cent's baby mama. You guys don't know Daphne Joy, who he has his son Sire with. I think his son is named Sire, right? Long Beach in the house. Shout out to Long Beach. And Young Miami, who's his ex. And it's kind of like what I figured anyway with a lot of these things. When you got money, you have women on speed dial. You got booty clappers on speed dial. You got, all types of things going on, man. And this lawsuit that's constantly coming up, Buddy in the lawsuit, he put out a lot of information about Diddy and this pink horsepower. I don't know why does YouTube always stop me at like 30, 32, 33? It's something about that number. YouTube always stops my the viewers or whoever's tuned in at like 32, 33. It's weird for some reason. But yeah, these cats is crazy, man. So I'm not gonna hold you guys up. We're gonna jump straight to some of these news clips, man. And we're gonna start off here with that one mule, that drug mule, who's basically, when you got money, you're gonna have people around you to do things for you. This guy gets the women, this guy, does this guy does that, this guy holds the weed, this is my weed man, my coke man, whatever have you. And Buddy right here, who goes by the name of Brendan Paul, who's a 25-year-old guy who got arrested at Opa Locka airport. He got booked on coke charges and weed charges. He's already made bail. That's the one you guys have been seeing, the alleged drug mule. But he's just the guy who carries it for him. But I guess anybody, that's what a mule is for, right? And the fall guy. So let's go ahead and jump into this one here. Yo, you can't. People saying everybody needs to stop coming down on Diddy. You're trying to tear a black man down. Hey, I'm just reporting the news, man. I'll let you guys decide for yourself with these things. But we're gonna jump into it.
Yeah, no, put them in the car. I'm gonna pack it up. Yeah, no, put them in the car.
So this is that kid, Brendan I'm about to say Brendan Fraser. Brendan Paul background. He played college ball, I believe for Syracuse. And he's also, when they have titles, these job positions, he's known as a producer for Diddy, which could be code word for whatever I want you to do at the end of the day. So he's a producer and former basketball player. That's what he's known for. But that's the one you guys saw in the footage right there getting arrested. And this is the alleged drug mule. Now, in the documents in this lawsuit that came out that was filed by one of Diddy's former disgruntled producers who goes by the name of Rodney Jones, who was also a videographer, suing Diddy for 30 million. This is where the stuff comes out where Diddy gives women stipends to clap the cheeks and do whatever he needs them to do and whatnot. So it gets a little deeper. And 50 Cent, Daphne Joy, which was one of the women named in the lawsuit, 50 Cent's not too fond of Diddy just to begin with, but obviously that made it even worse once, it's kind of like a checkmate for Diddy, even though he's paying the woman to your baby mama sleeping with one of your nemesis, if you will, or one of your industry nemesis. And it's check that I guess that's why Diddy doesn't take it too seriously. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that if you're giving me a stipend and this is all I got to do, hang out with you, do a few freak offs and move on, then so be it. But let me open this back up while we switch places here. Hold on. I think there was more on there. Was there more on there? It's just Buddy's mug shots. But anyway, the Buddy right there, he already made bail or bond. He already bonded out. You know what I'm saying? That's light work for him. This happens a lot. But this coke mixed with MDMA and other stuff all together, man. That's I guess that's for the rich fellas. Y'all see, they had screenshots of that stuff up. You know what I mean? I guess what is it called? Tusi? Are you guys familiar with that? This drug called Tusi, this pink, I call it pink horsepower, but that's Cameron's thing that he's got to help fellas out with that may have ED or have trouble getting it up. But I would really call some pink coke mixed with MDMA pink horsepower at the end of the day, if that's what you need. Sheesh. But this thing with Stevie J. You guys familiar with Stevie J? He was one of Bad Boy's producers. He was married to Faith Evans. He had a baby with, I think he was married. Was he married to Jocelyn? Jocelyn Hernandez. I think that's her name. And he had a baby by her. Well, he was let's go ahead and pull this up. He was taken up for Buddy recently, right? And he had some things to say, defending Diddy. But according to this right here, private guards with umbrellas, which they showed a lot of that footage today, which I'm gonna play the clip here shortly. Private guards with umbrellas left property shortly before the plane. The search was for cell phones, cameras, laptops, and other electronic devices. I'm reading this for those of you who can't see it. I mean, who can't read it if the letter's too small on here or the text is too small. The search was for cell phones, cameras, laptops, and other electronic devices that recorded the alleged blackmail tapes mentioned with the names of Stevie J, who is mentioned as a victim of a gay blackmail sex tape, in addition to Cuba Gooding Jr. and Young Miami. Now that's Stevie J on the left, to the left of Puff, which was part of, was it the Hitman producers or whatever?
There has been shielding the entrance to his home. He has stayed out of sight since Homeland Security agents were here on Monday doing that search warrant, doing that raid. And since headlines after that have gone global about a sex trafficking investigation. The private guards at Two-Star Island spend hours as there have been shielding the entrance to his home. He has stayed out of sight since Homeland Security agents were here on Monday doing that search warrant, doing that raid.
Now, there's been some speculation about what this raid was about. Obviously, that's all there is going to be, is speculation. I think the FBI or Homeland Security made a statement saying that it was in reference to this sex trafficking. But when you start confiscating electronic devices and things like that, it is, which some assume is due to him having dirt on certain people, and people in power, have connections, and they confiscated this dirt or this blackmail tapes that he couldn't use against certain people, which it would be smart for you to have backups anyway if you got that stuff going on. Suge Knight even alluded to that as well. And I think someone else, was it Candace Owens? I believe Candace Owens said something along those lines too. Was the reason for the raid was because of the dirt that he had on certain individuals. And we'll get into some photos and clips here shortly about him having, his freak offs, or just in general, you having video cameras rolling. Now, I don't see what the problem is with that. This goes for anybody. It's your home. It's your home. You should be allowed to record whatever you want to record in your house. I know as a, even in real estate, one of the things you tell people when you go to show a house is, hey, just know you may be filmed while you're in it, while we're viewing this house. It's your property. Now, when you start putting stuff out, let's just say you have an encounter with someone or whatever, and you put this out without their permission, that's something different. But I always think that you should, especially when you're a man like this or someone who's high profile, or just anybody, just to have cameras within your home, because you never know if somebody could break in. You never know if someone's stealing. You never know, whatever. And it could save you ultimately if somebody accuses you of doing something to them and you have the footage showing that, hey, that didn't happen. So it's not, and I guess people are going to get into the whole legality of, well, in this state, you can't record in your own home. I don't know. That's still something different. But me personally, if you're in my house, and I'm not saying I got the situation out, if you're in my house, I'm going to be recording to protect myself, at all times. There's just going to be cameras running, But yeah, Stevie J and Cuba Gooding Jr.'s his name keeps coming up. I guess he's been in a lot of these, but he got his own situation that he dealing with. You know what I mean? All right, let's go back here. Oh, I should have some music playing, guys. I'm sitting up here. We logged in right here. Let me play some music real quick, because it's a little bit too quiet. Hit that like button, guys. We need to have at least, how many likes? We got any mods in here? How many likes? We need to have at least 100 likes up in here. Let's run it up. Play some kind of music here, man. So Young Miami has been accused of transporting this pink cocaine or Tusi. I'm not too street savvy when it comes to drugs. You know, so forgive me if I pronounced it wrong. I guess it's also known as Tusi or whatever. Buddy that I mentioned earlier, Rodney Jones, the producer, videographer, he's also accused. He's suing Puffy for 30 million for SA, you know, for assault, and saying that he was grooming him, you know, playing with his booty hole, uh, you know, feeling up on him, trying to get him to do acts with other women in front of him and things like that. He's suing Puffy for 30 million for that. And in this lawsuit, that's where he names Young Miami, also known as Carisha. She's one half of the City Girls, and also was Diddy's girlfriend. So also he alleges that she's one of his, you know, paid workers, if you will, or independent contractors like Daphne Joy. And he was giving these women a stipend. So, which is, I figured that anyway. And it was kind of like, I think this was mentioned previously that he was paying her a monthly stipend just to be his girlfriend or just to be, you know, make appearances and stuff like that. And that's what she went for, because she was getting paid for it. That's why when he popped up with a baby, it wasn't like a big thing. She wasn't really concerned about it. But it says here that that former guy, Brendan Paul, was supposed to make sure this is on the screen, right? Buddy named Brendan Paul, he was supposed to, the guy who's a drug mule, the white guy, he was supposed to bring this pink cocaine up there to Virginia, but he forgot it. So being that Puffy's a billionaire, he got his own, obviously he got his own private jet. He got, you know, he can move whoever, whenever, at any time. So he had her bring this stuff up from Miami, according to this dude. And this dude was saying that he was watching Puffy do lines and all that, and said that she's basically one of his booty clappers that's on his payroll. You know what I mean? And this is part of the lawsuit right here. For those of you, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll read it for those of you who can't really read it. I don't know how big, where you're watching it at, if it's on your phone or whatever, but I'll read it for you guys who are visually impaired or if the text is just too small. So I'm gonna start with let's start from the top here, man. From their headquarters in New York, California, and Florida to consumers in New York, California, and Florida, and around the country, relying on the mail, email, social text messages, and WhatsApp messages to distribute interstate wires to disseminate the misleading information described herein, as well as to receive profits from the artists, creatives, musicians, and producers from their forced solicitation of ex workers and the solicitation of ex encounters with booty clappers, ex workers, and minors, and the purchasing and distribution of illegal firearms and drugs. Each of these acts was undertaken with the knowledge and approval of all defendants, and furthermore, the goals of their conspiracy. Robin Greenhill, the accountant, would ensure the wiring, funds transfer, cash payments to booty clappers. Frankie Santella, Moy Bond, Brendan Paul, and KK would be responsible for ensuring payment to ex-workers in cash. Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' ex-workers and receive payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendants' ongoing criminal operation. During the 10 years preceding the filing of this action, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's what's in the paperwork right here. Man, I guess, I don't know if that's the affidavit or what, but that's what they're talking about. You know, she was a paid, you know, she was paid to be on the team, which, here's the thing. A lot of fellas will say, you know, any sort of paying a woman any kind of money is considered simping. But I wonder when it's, you know, when you got men like billionaires and millionaires that give women a stipend, are you still considering it simping, or is it just, you know, is it just a write-off for them? You know what I mean? Interested in knowing that, man. Shout out to Do Better Podcast, man. Appreciate you, bro. You know, I don't go live too often. Shout out to the 313. What up, though? Yeah. Hit the like button, man. Quit playing with me. Let's run it up to 100. Yo, when you can do that, is it considered simping though? If you can have whoever on the payroll and write it off, is it considered simping? But if you got a regular man doing it, you know. All right. What else we got here, man? IG is acting a little slow here. We already talked about that. We're gonna get into this that nightclub shooting or whatever. Close that out. Appreciate the $20 super chat, bro. So listen, man. Homeland Security officer reportedly said Diddy raid was based off of concrete allegations collected from victims. When charges come down, we will get him. And because a lot of people were wondering, okay, why wasn't he? And for those of you who don't know too much about federal charges, or when the feds come swoop down on you, the feds are like Jesus Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you know, even though cops, you know, waste time, money, effort, and assets and things like that to get someone, the feds don't have time for that, man. You know, when they build a case, it's months to sometimes years prior. And just because when they come and do a raid or anything like that, that doesn't mean you get arrested. This is the difference between feds and state, right? And I know this personally. They don't just come and arrest you, right? You'll think that when the feds coming to get you, they're coming to arrest you, but it doesn't always happen like that. They'll get what they need to get, and then they'll give you a heads up, like, hey, this is what it is. Don't go nowhere, you know. And they'll keep it tight-lipped with you until your attorney, you know, you retain an attorney or whatever. And then when it's time to come get you, they just get you. You know, they don't have to arrest you that day. That's the difference with the feds, guys. So for those of you who like, well, he didn't get arrested. He didn't get arrested. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to be arrested that day. You know what I'm saying? They'll detain you, or they'll speak with you about it and get what they need to get, because you're always gonna be there. You know what I mean? Nah, Brendan's not gonna sing. You know, Brendan's not gonna sing, and those are federal charges, by the way, that his Brendan Paul is facing in Florida. That possession, whatever he had of cocaine and marijuana in Florida, those are federal charges that those are felony charges, not federal charges. Those are felony charges that Buddy's facing for you know, and I don't know if he was on the plane already or it was before he got on the plane, because that may be something different altogether if he was caught with it on the plane, which is something entirely different, man. But yeah, that's how that Fed stuff works, guys, if you guys aren't familiar with that. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. And of course, 50 Cent was trolling. You know, get the like, exactly. Get the likes up, get the likes up. Quit playing with me, man. Let's change the music up here. We almost 30 minutes in. Stop being cheap. Stop being cheap. Hit the like button. Stop being cheap. All right. 50, y'all know 50's always a troll. I already talked about earlier, you know. That's his baby mama for his son, Sire. And they've been going at it for like way back since the early 2000s. He's been going back and forth with Diddy. But this is what, I mean, he didn't post, this wasn't the exact post, the picture, that wasn't the picture he posted, which we'll get to that. But he said, I didn't know that you was an ex-worker, you little ex-worker, LOL. Talking about, and this is a picture of Daphne Joy. That's his baby mama there.
beautiful day. Dress. I love sundresses.
Out with Diddy. So Diddy hit him with the little checkmate right there because, you know, he been trolling them. They on the yacht. He been trolling them, and he was like, yo, I got your baby moms at the end of the day. And that, you know, 50 definitely didn't like that. So I think when it first happened, when it first came out, if you guys remember, 50 had posted a picture of it, of her being out with Puffy. And she said, you know, stop being childish or something like that. Me and you aren't together or something along those lines when it first went down.
Now too.
Yeah, she's working on the BMF series, and then, you know, City Girls up like a month.
Did you do that just to fuck with Diddy?
No, that was ahead of the thing with Daphne or whatever like that. But Sean, man, I ain't kissed in the mouth in 10 years, man. Somebody got to kiss her.
Oh, man.
That's a wild shit to say.
Yeah, you know, that ain't no, like, for real. You know, like, it ain't one of those situations where, you know, how they have those, like, they'll still go back to the baby mother and hang out with the baby mother and stuff like that. Nah, and that was not like a relationship then anyway. It was more like an arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and look, Sai is my boy. I almost named him Champ because of me and Floyd's relationship. He kept asking me to come back to Vegas, and then he'll go bring Daphne. I'm like, why?
Carisha to BMF now too.
Yeah, she's working on the BMF series.
Yeah, this is what he posted right here. Here we go. When the footage first came out of her with Diddy, oh, that's your mommy over there with Puppy, and it posted a picture with his son too. LOL. Remember what I told you the other day? These just be crazy. Then she responded, please stop doing this to me. I never bother you, and I'm an outstanding mother to our son. Can we please just focus on that? I mean, you know this dude don't rock with this dude, but you still you gonna be one of his workers? And this is when it came out right here. Nah, me and Puff fight over business-ish. If he liked the girl, he liked the girl. I don't give a F. Well, 50, by you posting it, you know, you did give a F by, you know, talking like that. You know what I mean? So definitely, man. One of your nemesis you always been clowning. Sending him a happy birthday to my favorite person at Diddy. It's cold-blooded. When I pull up on you, don't be surprised. Man. Well, they know what they were doing, man. That's just to piss 50 off at the end of the day. These blogs even worse than me when it comes to research. They found 50 Cent baby mama and Diddy sunglasses on the PJ. Yo, man. Money is the greatest equalizer, man. You'll be surprised what folks do for money. You know, knowing that you had issues with this dude, that's just like Tiny and Mayweather. Tiny, T.I. and Mayweather, that whole situation. But this was the actual post here that 50 put up this morning. Or was it a few hours ago? I think this was like early this morning that 50 actually had put up. Talking about the BMs. Yo, let's play this clip, man. Let's get out of here. Hold on, wait up. Before, man, y'all remember that you know, people coming out of the woodwork with all types of stuff, right? But y'all remember the shooting with Shyne way back when J-Lo was in the club and all that, and Shyne had to do, was it 10 years? Shyne got hit with 10 years for that. Well, the lady who got shot said it wasn't actually Shyne. She said it was the homie Diddy that did it.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them. That was, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
So as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Natanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shyne. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. Man. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video not expecting it to go viral. Went to pick up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably going to see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people. And I could not believe it. But it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years. It was my time to speak.
Yeah, we don't know yet what's going to happen with the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, again, he hasn't been arrested. There's clearly a very big federal investigation happening now. But I'm thinking back to other cases, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. When they started to dig, all sorts of stuff came to the surface. They reopened old investigations. Would you like to see the investigation involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting, ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this in. This is a weapon. To let other people in with guns. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by...
You know what's funny? She's saying this, you know, the weird part about it, if somebody says that you shot them, you know what I'm saying? You know, case in point, and I understand this was a different time in the, was the early 2000s or whatever, or 99, excuse me, 99. They usually go off of the person who says that, you know, this person's choppy, you know what I'm saying? But they're like, no, he didn't shoot you or whatever. And he's still walking around. J-Lo got away, and I'm gonna play the clip with Shyne, you know, where he, you know, he talks about the situation. I think he sat down with Tamron Hall and discusses that, you know, how loyal he was in reference to the situation, or he took the rap for him, you know, gave up 10 years. I think it was 10 years of his life behind this situation, you know.
Someone that was allowed to come into the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb, I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Yeah, and I ask you this respectfully, just because I think people at home might be wondering, and I've never been shot. I can't imagine what that's like. But, you know, in the chaos of that moment, and it's a club and there's people all around, like, how can you be sure that it was actually P. Diddy?
Because I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, you know, hands. But then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hip. And I knew. I instantly turned to my friends and told them, be careful, watch out. And when I turned back, I know, and I've said over and over, I've heard the voice of God say, you are about to be calm down. And as I said no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns, and I felt the impact to my face instantly.
Wow.
There's no doubt in my mind who shot me.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you.
She didn't get, I don't know too much about, you know, if she settled afterwards or if she got paid afterwards and whatnot, if she even got a check or if the money ran out already, you know, but man, 25 years later.
I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
All right, so that played back from the beginning. So 25 years later, which I could probably look it up. Let me look it up real. What was it? Natanya Rubin. If you guys know about it in the chat, drop it in the chat if she had got a settlement. Diddy settles civil lawsuit over 1999 club shooting. That was back in 2011. I know you guys can't see it. I'm just reading it real quick before I bring it up. An attorney for one of the victims, Natanya Rubin, confirmed the settlement, but declined to give further details, saying that the settlement that occurred earlier this year was bound by confidentiality agreement. I can confirm it happened. So she did get a settlement situation. While Rubin was wounded in the face by bullet fragments and in 2008 filed a $130 million lawsuit for compensation. In this criminal trial, Shyne, also known as Jamal Barrow, said that the shooting was in self-defense after another group of men with whom Combs and Barrow had an altercation with the shooting. So she settled, ruined. The New York Post quoted from former Club New York owner Michael Burgos who did not sign the confidentiality agreement as saying that Rubin received $1.8 million in the settlement and that the two other victims received $50,000 and $500,000. So according to Buddy, who was the owner, Club New York owner, he said that this lady talking, the victim who got shot, she received $1.8 million. In this confidentiality agreement, I guess she's, like I said, the money must have ran out, in 2011, that's what, 13 years? So 13 years, $1.8 million. Hey, she trying to get some more money like everybody else. Give me a few more million. I know who really shot me, even though in your, this confidentiality agreement that you can't speak about it. She's speaking about it now, so baby wants some more money. You know what I mean? But I think we got Shyne, where he talks to he appears on Tamron Hall's things. On Tamron Hall's show. I said her things or whatever. Let's pull that up real quick.
I know that you and Puffy are friends now and he has supported you, but people believe that you went to jail because you were too loyal.
I think in the Belize House of Representatives, unfortunately, like most Congresses and National Assemblies, you have people that aren't loyal to their constituents and to serving the public interest. So what I've been through is not about Puff. I'm nobody's victim. That was about me. That was about my honor, my integrity, which propelled me to be exactly where I am today as a Belizean leader and a world leader, showing examples of the best that all human beings have in them as far as character and integrity, ethics, and moral.
I know that you and Puffy are friends now and he has supported you, but people believe that you went to jail because you were too loyal.
Man, maybe I guess this is why, man. So I just refreshed it. I only got 58 likes. I've been on here for how long now? I've been on here almost an hour. It's like 81 people in here, which is low for a hot topic. Let me stop complaining, man. Hit that like. If you're in here now, hit the like button. It's free. That means it should be like 85 people in, 85 likes. At least get 100, man. Damn. Y'all stingy. I'm not asking for no money, no super chats, no nothing, man. Hit the like button. Sheesh. And y'all be acting stingy. That joint, I refreshed that joint, it said 58 likes. This joint said 58 likes, bro. Anyway, let me close this shit out. We'll close this out with this whole thing right here. Let's play this video here, man. And we're gonna get up out of here. Stingy with the likes. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, Jay, play the video. I'm not hitting the like button. This shit costs too much, JR. I'm not about to hit that like button. I've been on here for like an hour. That's why I don't like doing this shit. But I guess you gotta do it, JR. You gotta do a morning show. I don't like doing this shit, man. Because y'all be stingy as hell with the likes. But be up in here watching though. All right, what is it? There we go. Let's run it.
So everybody's talking about this, especially on social media right now. Sean Combs, Diddy, accused of all kinds of things, including human trafficking.
His homes have been raided by federal agents. They even intercepted his plane on a tarmac and arrested his associate in Miami.
Right now, let's bring in TMZ's Branson Kirk to talk more about it. Thank you for being here. All his troubles stem from an explosive lawsuit. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I mean, after this, these Mondays these raids were intense. As we know, Miami, his home was raided as well as his Los Angeles home on Monday. Well, we are learning a little bit more information about all of this, what went down, as well as some new footage and some new photographs that TMZ has obtained. Well, Diddy, during the raid, was intercepted by federal agents on the tarmac, actually out in Miami at one of the airports out there. He was about to aboard a private jet. He was with some of his family, some of his crew, and federal agents intercepted him. And it's really interesting. Actually, one of his associates was arrested on charges of possibly being a mule, on possible drug charges and so forth. Yeah, Brendan Paul actually has been named in one of the lawsuits that is been targeted towards Diddy. But no, we're learning a little bit more information about the raid. TMZ obtained video actually of that raid here in Los Angeles. The aftermath of his home, you can see hard drives just torn apart. You can see papers strewn about. You could see several different pieces of the home, safes broken into as well. So obviously, federal investigators really felt like they had, probable cause to go in there and look for what they were looking for, and they did not hold back in their attempt to look for what they were looking for. We don't know exactly what they were looking for, but we know that this is all tied to all those civil lawsuits that he has faced the last few months, tied to sex trafficking allegations and, several other heinous crimes that have been targeted towards him. But Diddy has really been responding and saying that he remains innocent. This is a witch hunt. He's being railroaded by the government and so forth. So that's how Diddy feels right now. But at the moment, he has not been arrested and he is still in the States.
Definitely will develop some insane allegations, though, for sure. We'll see what happens.
Definitely insane allegations, man. Well, there's been your in new Diddy news. There's been you guys update. You guys have been great. We had a caller in, but this, like I said, this is a live call-in show. It was pinned in the chat in blue. If you guys want to share your thoughts here, I'm about to hop up off here. Feel free to hit that link to call in and share your thoughts. Man, all in all, man, who knows what'll happen, man. Diddy's not doing no time. Diddy is not doing any time, guys. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be everything's gonna be okay. Money does talk. People say skin color matters. I mean, it could, but money, money moves a lot of things too, man. Believe it or not. Where we at with the likes? This thing has not. Yeah, I need to get up out of here, man. Let's see why. I should have kept this at 30 minutes, which I'll probably do from now on, man. I'm gonna just hop on here and just do like 15 to 20 minutes. It's almost an hour here. But yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Theo Coop for the super chat. You know what I mean? And y'all follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those great things. Hit the like button right now if you're watching the restream or if you're on here right now. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And get up out of here. Peace. You guys.